There we
Democratic socialism.
That should be better.
It's not the same as socialism because it's democratic, right? Or something, right? People are buying that. People buy that now, right? Apparently. As though adding the word democratic in front of a word changes what it means. Just because we toss something to a vote doesn't change what that something is, nor does it alter whether that something is inherently good or bad. Couple of examples, because I know you'll ask. Hamas was democratically elected as the government in Gaza, despite the fact that the destruction of not only Israel, but the eradication of all Jews is in their official charter. Robert Mugabe, or Bobby Mugabe if you prefer, was democratically elected by a loving majority in Zimbabwe. How's that working?
Wait.
Venezuela? Well, Hugo Chavez noted
Wait. Mugabe? You mentioned Mugabe? God, this is so frustrating. It's not like Mugabe. Mugabe's complex. I might have to play another video because of that. God damn. Hugo Chavez, though, the fucking man.
Personal favorite and friend of Sean Penn, to whom he constantly pointed as being unfairly characterized as a dictator when in fact he was democratically elected as a socialist. Well, how'd that work out for Venezuela? Well, it's now on the brink of collapse, despite it being one of the most resource-rich nations in the entire world. Basic things like eggs, milk, flour, and toilet paper are either too expensive for the average Venezuelan or simply out of stock. Out of stock, mind you, democratically. I know. Some of you will say, well, that's not fair because really we knew all along it technically was a dictatorship. Okay, that's fair. Let's move on to example number 2. Denmark? Okay, here's the time where you point to an entirely homogenous population, about 1/60th the size of America's, and you point to that as the blueprint. Okay, let's go there. This is a place where the middle class can't even afford a car because of the 180% new car tax. And the prime minister was so fed up with Americans pointing to it as a beacon for socialist success that he felt compelled to clarify, I would like to make one thing clear. Denmark is far from a socialist planned economy. Denmark is a market economy.
Of course it is.
Sweden? I love Sweden. Okay, great bikini team, and
so you're just mentioning social democratic states that have like a mixed economy now, and saying like, oh, these aren't really socialists because they're not. Ha ha.
Thanks to that country, my armoire now doubles as a bookcase. Speaking of which, the founder of IKEA, let's be honest, the only really cool export from Sweden, aside from a few good hockey players, left Sweden because of the stifling high tax rate. So, Sweden, good place, not bad people, but a successful model for a viable economy in today's global market? Incorrect.
Oh my God, my head's going to explode. I recommend everyone to look into the Social Democratic Party in Sweden and the prime minister at the time in the 70s, I want to say, Olof Palme, who was assassinated. And just look into like them as a social democratic experiment. It's quite interesting what they try to do and how they try to incrementally get to a socialized state. It was very, very intriguing experiment, and how much they're able to uplift the working class and the proletariats up from poverty. It's just, again, really impressive. But they also had massive neoliberal free market reforms from the 80s, 90s, and obviously in the 2000s on. So, first off, it's not really a social democratic country anymore. None of the Nordic countries are in a way, because of the neoliberalization that they've gone through. But let's give them the credit that they are. Let's give them some credit for, at least in the 20th century, for what they did, for the social democratic experiment that some of them did. Not Denmark, though, especially not Denmark. However, his example for why that failed was that the CEO of IKEA left the country. That's his only example for why Sweden failed or is failing. Is that the CEO of IKEA left the country. That's it. His only example. Also, like, all of these like examples aren't like empirical data. Like I mentioned, like the infant mortality that was dropped in Venezuela from Hugo Chavez's presidency, his administration. You can look that up. You can look up that data. You know, like they're mentioning food was off the shelves. What does that mean? Like, you have anything to? Is that actual statistic, Mark, that we talk about? Like, come on here. Anyways, continue.
The fact is that over time, the greatest enemy of socialism is reality. The reality that human nature will invariably pull certain people toward individualism and success, and others toward laziness and collectivism. The tension between the makers and the takers always.
This motherfucker just said that the collectivists are the lazy ones. Does he think union workers are fucking lazy? Oh, that's right. He got beat up by fucking union workers, right? I might have to find that clip now. Fucking idiot.
Always leads to socialism's inevitable collapse. But I know that I can give you examples of failed socialist economies until I'm blue in the face, and you won't care. Because at least socialism is inherently more morally altruistic than the evil, greedy, capitalist warmongering seen in the West. Greed? What's more greedy than wanting to take from someone else something that you haven't earned? Unlike capitalism, free enterprise, which can only occur truly through voluntary transaction, socialism can only occur at gunpoint. That's what it comes down to. If you don't pay your taxes, once you get through the IRS and the auditing and the lawyers and the PR stunts, people make you give the government your money, an increasing amount of your money, the more successful you are, or they send in scary men with guns to take you away. Now, so long as the people having their stuff taken away at gunpoint are in the minority, and the majority feels that they'll get to benefit from more said taken stuff,
What happens if you just choose not to work? Like all the options are bad. Let's say they're all just like not good, right? The free association of trade, all that shit, right? So it just doesn't work. Let's say like they don't want to hire you. What happens? You can't pay rent, can't pay health care, you die. That's not violent. That's not oppressive. That's not holding up at gunpoint, so to speak, right? You know, like that's crazy. God.
you'll always be able to win that decision through a popular vote and claim the moral high ground through democracy. Putting the word democratic in front of your socialism doesn't make it any inherently more moral nor less violent. Did you get that? American wannabe socialists?
What?
Also, get a job. Please, like a real job. You'll probably have to shave first.
I'm
Stephen
a YouTube
Crowder
host.
for Prager University.
To subscribe to our YouTube channel,
Oh my god. Oh my god. Do people not realize like how many wars in the last, let's say, 200 years were started purely because of companies? Purely because of like trading, like imports and exports. Like that's really it. Or they want to like exploit like a cheap labor base. So let's go and invade this country, perform a coup, put in someone that's more beneficial to us. I mean, I know this came out before this happened, but we had not too long ago a coup that happened in Bolivia at the behest of Elon Musk. So, and why they do that? Because they wanted access to the lithium deposits so they can get a leg up on China. That's why. Okay. That's not corporations pointing guns at people. No. Weird. Weird. It doesn't make sense. Yo, motherfucker in the chat. I allow you to be here because like you're funny sometimes. Don't get twisted and start talking shit to me. Okay? Because you make zero relevant points anytime you listen to the show. So sit your ass down and learn. You got it? Thank you.